Welcome back. This is Tuesday, the 11th day of August, 2012. We're going to compare F11 Top Coat to the cheapest ceramic coating on the market. That would be Mr. Fix 9H. It is $1.20 US dollars in some places, and especially like on Alibaba and other places. But Amazon, eBay, you can typically find it between $3 and $5. And of course, we're comparing it to F11 Top Coat, which this bottle I bought on Amazon was nearly $80. If you followed any of my previous videos, I talk about F11 and the SDS. It's made by a company called Ducora. The primary ingredient of it is silicone, alcohol, and water, with most of it being water. So here's our hood we have, and it's been polished fairly well, not to perfection. That's not what we're after here. I'm going to go ahead and divide it up into 3 different sections, actually 4, and we're going to compare it against a professional only coating called SPS Graphene. It's just in here to show you what a proper ceramic coating or type of protection will offer. So we have Mr. Fix on the left, F11 in the middle, SPS Graphene, and then a control which has nothing on it on the far right. The instructions say to apply it directly on the surface, wipe it on with a towel, and either flip the towel or wipe it again with a new towel to buff it off. We're using Adam's Surface Prep in place of isopropyl alcohol to wipe the surface, make sure it's clean and clear of any polishes. Now we'll go ahead and apply everything. So Mr. Fix, most ceramic coatings, you apply it in a checkerboard fashion, let it sit for anywhere between 2 to 5 minutes, and then wipe it off. Mr. Fix was extremely sticky compared to SPS Graphene. F11 went on very easily, no complaints as to the application process. One thing you will notice here when I remove the tape is the depth of the color. SPS Graphene provides so much more depth than the other two. Mr. Fix, it was kind of a letdown in my opinion, but again, at that price point, I'm not expecting a whole lot. So you'll see it right away here. It looks like high spots in the coating, but that's not what it is. It's actually a color difference. The depth, there it is, the depth of the color that you see, and then the control. F11 said to let the product sit and cure for 12 to 48 hours before washing or anything like that. We're going to speed it up a little bit and put it under our infrared lamps, clean everything up, turn them on here, let it sit for about an hour. The surface temperature is about 150 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 65 degrees centigrade, which is kind of where we want it, somewhere between 130 to 150. When it sits out in the Texas sun, it's going to be about 150 to 160 degrees if you were to apply it on a car. And if it's on a hood like it is here, you have the heat from the engine plus the outside heat. It's going to get even hotter than that. So I have my FLIR 130 just to kind of show you how it's heating up the surface. This is a steel hood, not an aluminum hood. So it's absorbing a decent amount of the heat. Now the fun begins. Here is the hood, just as you saw it earlier. It's cured. The time elapsed has been about 24 hours. Have our scan grip lights that we're going to put on it, and of course the Scotch Brite purple sponge from 3M. That's what they used in the F11 commercials and videos that you see on YouTube, so that's what we're going to use. Going to use Chemical Guy's Honeydew Snow Foam to wash it. Not going to use it as a foam cannon in a pressure washer. We're just going to put it in the bucket, use it as soap. So with the hood laying down, you can see there's some decent water repellency, but of course the key to all the videos here is you prop it up, and now you can see graphene, SPS Graphene, very, very hydrophobic. F11, it's repelling as you see it in their video. So let's wash it one time here and see if anything changes. So what do you think? SPS Graphene is the one that's not labeled. Already with one wash, F11 has started to fail. You can see how if it's sheeting, it's sticking onto the paint, it's not doing anything. So that's why I have the control on the far right. You can see the difference. Almost identical to the control. Mr. Fix isn't too much better, but it at least has some. So here's wash number 2, rinse number 2, wash number 3, rinse number 3, wash number 4, rinse number 4. So now we'll look just after 4 washes, see if there's any difference. SPS still looks great. F11's getting even worse. The water's sticking even more. Mr. Fix, it's still slightly repelling it, but it's not doing too hot. Still better than F11. You know, remember $1.20 versus $80. That's pretty significant difference if you're just comparing the two to each other. But F11 has completely failed, just about. Is this what you expected? As I said earlier, F11, the primary ingredients are silicone, alcohol, and water, with it mostly being comprised of water. You use it, compare it against the control group that you see on the far right, and it's doing almost the same thing, which tells you that it's completely gone. So we'll move on. Wash number 5. You can watch it progressively get worse here. 6, 7, 8, 9, and we'll do the 10th one. So we'll do the 10th wash, slow it down a little bit, and you can see still using that purple sponge, still using Chemical Guys Honeydew Snow Foam for the wash. And let's get to rinsing here. You can see F11 versus the 4th wash. Now it's even worse. See, again, look at the control group and look at F11. Almost identical. The water's sticking to it. At this point, Mr. Fix looks way better than F11. Again, $1.20 versus $80. SPS Graphene doing just fine after 10 washes. No surprises there. So look at this. This video is sped up, and you can see the water is just sitting there, just like on the control group. Would you spend $80 on a product that starts disappearing after the first wash, let alone 4 or even 10 washes? You know, 10 washes, that's 2.5 months worth of washing if you washed it every week. That's with no other contaminants getting rained on, anything like that. So I'm going to show you a couple different angles here, see if it helps you out, and then we'll get to the scan grip to see if it shows any significant scratching from that sponge that the guy in the video says doesn't scratch as he washes a dirty car with a dish sponge. So again, this video is sped up and you can see the water is just sitting there. Here we go. Got the scan grip. Leave it up to your judgment as to what you think. There's a little bit of sticker residue left over from this hood previously being a test hood for other tests, but I think SPS Graphene looks pretty good. Mr. Fix looks good. F11 looks good as far as the scratches. So that wraps it up. I appreciate you guys subscribing, smashing that like button, commenting below, and of course I appreciate all of you guys helping out. There's a lot of time and expense that goes into making these videos. Everything is purchased out of my pocket. No sponsors, no bias, nothing. It's just reporting what we find using a semi-scientific method. Thank you.